Okay. This lesson we're going to be talking about division. Now, division is probably everybody's least favorite thing to do. It's difficult, it's complicated, whatever you want to say. Division is hard. All right. This lesson, dividing polynomials, is tricky, but I'm going to break this down one step at a time. We're going to get through this just fine. Okay, I promise you. I promise you. We're going to start this lesson by just going through a review of dividing using long division. That's what we're going to be talking about in this lesson, long division. Okay. So, using long division, which you guys may not have used in the last 10 years. So here's a little bit of review. We're going to divide 84 by 6. Using long division, that's just writing 84 underneath this division symbol with 6 outside. And we divide by saying, well, how many times does 6 go into 8? How many times does 6 go into 8? And you should be saying 1. 1 time. Well, that's 6. It goes in 1 time. What do we get? We get 6. So we subtract. What's 8 minus 6? 2. And then we bring down what's left over. We bring down that 4. And that is long division. And then we ask, well, how many times does 6 go into 24? We should say 4 times, right? And what's 6 times 4? You get 24. Subtract. And what do you get? You get 0. You get 0. What is that 0? What does that 0 mean? That 0 is our remainder. Okay. So we really don't have to worry about that if our remainder is 0. Our answer is what we got up here. 14. Okay, so 84 divided by 6 is 14. Let's try this one. Divide 57 by 2. Again, we're going to write 57 underneath my division sign with 2. Ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 5? Goes in there twice, right? 2 goes into 5 2 times. What's 2 times 2? It's 4. Okay, 2 goes into 5 twice, so you multiply those together, we get 4. 5 minus 4, that is 1. Bring down the 7. Okay, now how many times does 2 go into 17? Should be saying 8, Mr. X. 8 times. 2 times 8, that's 16, right? 16. Subtract 17 minus 16, we get 1. So our 1 is our remainder. Okay, and that comes into our final answer. My final answer, I'm going to stick with right here, 28. Then we have that remainder. And how do we write that as our answer? We're going to write our remainder as a fraction, so 1 is our remainder, over what we're dividing by, 2. Okay, so I hope that review helped us out a little bit. All right, we're going to be using the same concept here, but now we're going to be dividing polynomials. Dun, 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 right? It's intimidating. This is why. Look at this. It looks complicated. But don't worry, we're going to get through this. Use the same concept, right? We're going to divide x squared plus 3x minus 4 by x plus 1. We're going to write x squared plus 3x minus 4 underneath our division. And then we're going to write x plus 1. Now, when we divide polynomials, all we care about is what's in front. X and x squared. And we want to cancel out that x squared. So my question is, how do I get from x, or what do I multiply x by, to get to x squared? How do I get from x to x squared? You should be saying, well, we just multiply by x. Okay, well, that's going to be part of our answer. We're going to write x as part of our answer. Where am I going to write that on top here? I'm going to write that right above my other x. Right above the 3x. That's where I'm going to write that answer. Okay, so x times x gets me x squared, right? So x times x, that gets me x squared. That's what I'm going to write right underneath the x squared. We're going to be subtracting. If then we have this plus 1. We have to multiply x plus 1. What's x plus 1? What's x times 1? It's x. Okay, so now we're going to subtract. Well, x squared minus x squared, those cancel out. But now what's 3x minus 1x? Should be telling me it's 2x. Okay, and then we're just going to bring down that minus 4, just like when we divided those whole numbers. Now again, all I care about is the front numbers, x and 2x. How do I get from x, or x times what gets me 2x? We should be saying 2. So that's going to be part of our answer, positive 2. X times 2 gives me 2x. Okay, but now, again, we have to multiply, what's 2 times 1? Positive 2. Okay, 2x's, those cancel out. What's negative 4 minus 2? It's negative 6. And that right there is our remainder. Take your answer, from up top, x plus 2. That's part of our answer. That's good. Now we have to incorporate the remainder. How do we do that? Just like we did with our whole numbers. Our remainder goes on top of what we're dividing by, x plus 1. Okay. Next one. Again, with anything in math, the more practice, the better we'll be at it. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay. This one, what I want to point out. When we divide polynomials, we want to write it in the form x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 1 or plus whatever, right? We want to incorporate all of these. Just like the one above, we had x squared plus 3x minus 4 divided by x plus 1. This one, we have 7x to the third. That's where we're going to start.
Lead orbit.
Plus x squared, which is good, plus x. Then I'm going to write plus 0, okay? And you'll see why. It makes dividing a whole lot easier. We're going to be dividing that by x squared plus 1. Well, we're missing an x, right? We have x squared, but we don't have x. So I'm going to say divided by x squared plus 0x plus 1. This will make dividing a whole lot easier and less confusing. Okay. So I incorporated that 0x. Now, again, all I care about is the front two numbers. How do I get from x squared to 7x to the third? We'll go back to our last lesson, multiplying polynomials. You should know that we have to multiply x squared by 7x. That's going to be part of my answer. Where am I going to write that? Right above my other x. 7x. Okay, so 7x times x squared gets me 7x to the third. But now we have to multiply by two things, right? What's 7x times 0x? That is 0x squared. And then 7x times 1 is 7x. And I'll subtract. I get x squared minus 0x squared is just x squared. x minus 7x is negative 6x, and I'm going to drop down to 0, plus 0. Okay. Again, same process. X squared and x squared. How do I get from x squared to x squared? Should be saying 1. Just multiply it by 1. Good. So 7x plus 1. We're going to get x squared. But now again, I have to multiply that 1 by both. 1 times 0x is just 0x. And 1 times 1 is 1. Subtract these out. X squared minus x squared. Those cancel out. That's good. Just like up here, those cancel out. Negative 6x minus 0x is negative 6x. And 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Can I drop anything else down? No. So that is my remainder. That's my remainder. So my final answer, what did I get up here? 7x plus 1. My remainder goes on top. That was negative 6x minus 1 over what I'm dividing by, which is x squared. You can say x squared plus 1 there. Or plus 0x. I don't care. Okay. Last one. All right. We have 2x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd plus 5x minus 1. I want to incorporate that x squared. I'm just going to write 0x squared. Okay, so 2x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd plus, we don't have the x squared, so I'm going to write 0x squared plus 5x minus 1. I don't have to worry about that what I'm dividing by because I have 2, 1, and 0, right? X squared plus 3x plus 2, so we're good there. So x squared plus 3x plus 2. Same process. X squared, 2x to the 4th. How do I get from x squared to 2x to the 4th? You should say 2x squared. 2x squared. That will get me 2x to the 4th. Again, now I have to multiply. What's 2x squared times 3x? It is 6x to the 3rd. And then 2x squared times 2 is 4x squared. 2x to the 4th cancel out. That's perfect. What is 3x to the 3rd minus 6x to the 3rd? That is negative 3x to the 3rd. 0x squared minus 4x squared is negative 4x squared. And now I'm just going to drop down the plus 5x. How do I cancel out that negative 3x squared using the x squared? X squared times what gets me negative 3x squared. Oh, to the 3rd. Negative 3x to the 3rd. My apologies. You should say multiplied by negative x, right? That's it? Nope, negative 3x. Yep. Multiplied by negative 3x. Negative 3x times x squared is negative 3x to the 3rd. Again, we're going to be subtracting, so those will cancel out. We have to multiply by both of those. Negative 3x times positive 3x is negative 9x squared. Negative 3x times 2 is negative 6x. And I'll subtract. Those cancel out. Negative 4x squared minus a negative 9x squared becomes positive 5x squared. And then we have 5x minus a negative 6x squared. Again, it's positive. So we're going to get plus 11x. And we have one more thing to drop down. It's at minus 1. Wow, this is a big one. Big problem here. But we only have one more step because we just dropped down our last thing. And I'm going to erase this over here. You know, all I care about is that x squared and 5x squared. How do I get from x squared to 5x squared? All I got to do is multiply by 5. So I'm going to write plus 5 up here. That'll get me 5x squared. Again, we have to multiply. 5 times 3x is 15x. And 5 times 2 is a positive 10. 5x squared cancel out. What's 11x minus 15x? That's negative 4x. And we have negative 1 minus 10, which is negative 11. Okay, and that right there is my remainder. So my final answer, I'll write it down here to the left, is what I got up here. 2x squared minus 3x plus 5, and then my remainder, negative 4x minus 11, goes on top of what I'm dividing by, x squared plus 3x plus 2. There's my final answer.